I would like to welcome all of you to John the Mouse University. I am your professor, John the Mouse. Now at this high-class university, we will be learning lots. And as students of this university, I expect you to engage in the comment section and to use your thumbs up button. Hello students, how are you guys doing today? We have a special guest here to talk about robocalls. Anybody in the room here has had any robocalls? Raise your hand. Looks like quite a few of you have. And if you haven't, we'll have a few examples here before Katie gets started with her talks.
Page position available for a business like yours and can guarantee front page placement with unlimited clicks 24 hours a day at a flat rate on Google.
You qualify for a substantial rate reduction on your merchant processing account? Since the Dodd-Frank Act passed, our team has performed hundreds of reviews for trucking companies.
Business lender specializing in making funds readily available to the trucking industry. We offer working capital to keep up with the high demand for advertising, marketing, equipment, supplies.
It's for a small business loan up to $250,000, whether you have good or bad credit. This information is free and there is no obligation.
And specialize in your industry. With a quick and simple application, we can have the funds wired into your account within 24 hours.
This is Allie calling because we noticed that your business qualifies for a small business loan of up to $250,000, whether you have good or bad.
This is an urgent message for the business owner. We have tried numerous times to contact you through mail and now by telephone regarding your Google listing webpage. This is your final notice. If you do not act soon, Google will label your
stayed with us or at our partner resorts in the past, and you earned enough points to get you an amazingly, drastically discounted vacation. So I'm just going to give you all the details really quick. Is that okay?
$250,000 small business loan. Press 1 now to speak to a cash specialist. No credit check is required for the approval, and we can get your loan finalized within the next 48 hours, regardless of what you need the funds for. Once again,
press 1 to avoid being removed from Google.
Oh, I am so sorry about that. I was having a little problem with my headset. Anyway, my name is Emily, and I'm calling because you stayed at one of our resorts in the past, and you qualify for a 75% savings on an amazing 4-day, 3-night vacation getaway in magical Orlando, Florida.
If you have a telephone, it probably seems like illegal robocalls are out of control. I'm Kati Daffan, an attorney at the Federal Trade Commission. If you pick up the phone and hear a recorded message instead of a live person, that's a robocall. Consumers are getting more and more robocalls, and they are not happy about it. As the number of calls has multiplied, the number of complaints has too. The reason for the spike in robocalls has to do with technology. Companies are using auto dialers that can send out thousands of phone calls every minute for an incredibly low cost. What's important is that the companies that use this technology don't bother to screen for the numbers on the National Do Not Call Registry. If a company doesn't care about obeying the law, you can be sure they're trying to scam you. You've probably gotten robocalls about candidates running for office or charities asking for donations. These robocalls are allowed. But any robocall that's trying to sell you something probably is illegal, unless you've given your written permission to get calls from that company. The FTC has stopped billions, yes, billions of robocalls in the last 2 years. Tracing these calls is a tough job, and there are a few reasons for that. One is that many different companies use the same or very similar recorded messages. Another is that they fake the caller ID information that you see on your phone. That's called caller ID spoofing, and new technology makes it very easy to do. And a third is that the robocallers often place the calls through internet technology that hides their location. At the FTC, we're continuing our aggressive enforcement efforts, and we're also looking for innovative technological solutions to the robocall problem. If you have a telephone, robocalls may be ruining your day. I'm Kati Daffan, an attorney at the Federal Trade Commission. If you answer the phone and hear a recorded message instead of a live person, it's a robocall. If the recording is a sales message and you haven't given your written permission to get calls from the company on the other end, the call is illegal, period. So, when you get an illegal robocall, here's what to do. Hang up the phone. Don't press 1 to speak to a live operator, and don't press any other number to get off the list. If you respond by pressing any number, it will probably just lead to more robocalls. You might consider contacting your phone provider and asking them to block the number and whether they charge for that service. Remember that telemarketers change caller ID information easily and often, so it might not be worth paying a fee to block a number that will change. Contact the FTC to report your experience. You can do that on ftc.gov or by calling 1-877-FTC-HELP. Say the word robocalls and people immediately start talking about what they would do to stop them. I'm Kati Daffan, an attorney at the Federal Trade Commission. As part of the FTC's Robocall Challenge, we got terrific ideas for technical solutions. We also got some really great practical suggestions from people who are reducing illegal robocalls day by day. Listen to these. Some telephone service providers allow their customers to block calls from multiple phone numbers. They may charge for that service. Also, some people told us that certain voice over internet provider, or VoIP services, reduce calls they don't want. One consumer said he uses VoIP hardware that allows him to tag any incoming number as unwanted, and then play a disconnected tone to the caller. After he applies this to an unwanted caller, he says there's usually no second call. Search internet shopping sites for call blocker. You will find a variety of products and reviews. One woman said she uses a special phone that causes robocaller software to drop her number off the call list. This not only reduced the number of robocalls she got, but eventually stopped them altogether. You know those 3-note special information tones that signal a non-working number? They sound like this. Some people told us they put this tone at the beginning of their voicemail or answering machine message, and it resulted in fewer calls. Call blocking products and reviews are available at your app store. People told us they're paying for apps that work to block robocalls on their cell phones, and that there are some free apps that have decent reviews too. One consumer, clearly someone who is comfortable with technology, said he got a virtual phone line and then forwarded the calls from that line to his actual phone. He gives his virtual number to everyone and keeps the other phone number to himself. So, if you're willing to change your phone number and you know how to set up call forwarding and screening, this can be a useful and free solution to block illegal robocalls. These tips might not work for everyone, but the good news is that they're working for some people. What works best for you? Share your robocall tips with other consumers on the FTC's Facebook page at facebook.com/Federal Trade Commission.
Around this great YouTube community, it is nice to know that people are spreading the word about con artists, phone scammers, 411 scams, and the circle jerk of corruption. It doesn't matter what you call them, they all work in groups, and they are all after something that you have. I'm going to shout out a few YouTubers that are pushing back. The Hoax Motel, Scambait Central, Silver Gold Man, Crypto Jedi, and Doug Polk are a few that are doing something. Feel free to leave a comment on others that I have missed. Everyone is having an impact. That's why so many YouTubers are disabled their comments. You all have a voice. Remember, you can all use your thumbs down too. I would like to thank Kati Daffan from the FTC for taking the time to talk to us all. All information provided in John the Mouse University is provided for information purposes only. John the Mouse University does not necessarily agree with every expert that comes on to give speeches at this fine university. We put a reasonable effort to present accurate information at John the Mouse University, but makes no guarantee of any kind. As you leave this university for the day, you will come across the tip jar. By no means does this mean you have to fill it up. If you like the information that you have received here today, I would encourage you to share this with everyone you know. I will be here for your next class.